Hello, everybody. It's Monday, the 21st of August, and this morning, Rightmove put out its August house price index. And yes, there's a smile on my face because after last week, the land registry telling everyone the house prices are going up, and all the newcomers to this being confused to go, "What? House prices are going up? What?" And also today, everyone's saying, "But Charlie, you say Rightmove house prices don't mean anything," and it's true. But for those of you who are interested, here is my breakdown of. So the headline is that. Let's run through the headlines. I've got them all here. I'll share them with you on screen. Hang on a second. I've got the caption. Should be on the screen. There it is. Let's share the first story with you. So this is Monday. This is the first story I saw this morning on this. Home sellers get a dose of reality. Average asking prices drops £7,000 in a month, says Rightmove. The FT said asking prices for UK homes suffer sharpest August drop since 2018. And City AM, who like to get the word crash in there, have said house prices, August sees biggest fall since 2018 as signs of a crash mount. Well, for all of you who are new here, I've always said that house prices are going to slide because they never crash. Not in the way that stock markets crash, where they can crash in a day. House prices, because transactions take basically 12 months from beginning to end, house prices always slide. And then in the rearview mirror, it looks like a crash, perhaps. But let's unpick this a bit more. I've got the Rightmove data here. And this is another thing. Okay, so they've quoted the average is £7,000. But if you look down here, and actually I put this up on X, on Twitter, the top of the ladder properties have had reductions in the average asking price of newly listed properties of about 23,000. The second steppers that you can see there, which are what they think are typically people who are selling and then buying and looking for, is a drop of just 0.8%, so which is about £3,300. And first-time buyers are only getting about £1,900 reduction in asking price. So none of those are £7,000. It's either 23 grand or 3 grand or 2 grand. So don't go out there as a first-time buyer saying, well, the news says it's 7 grand off, so I want to take 7 grand off, because that's just not going to go down well. You've got to do your homework better and look at the numbers. Now, what I want to make sure everyone understands, first and foremost, is this, is that the Rightmove house price index is not a house price index. Like, it really isn't a house price index of any kind. It is this. It is just the first initial price of newly listed properties in the last month. So it's not the whole market, therefore it can't be called a house price index. It doesn't include price reductions, even of stuff that came onto the market and then 2 weeks later had a price reduction. It doesn't include that. It's initial asking price only. Even if that price drops the next day, they don't include that price reduction. And a lot of them do drop after a week or two. Okay. So in other words, this is the very highest possible price they can possibly manage, which is brand new. And think of all those people who go on testing the market, right? But there is a story here. And the story here, I think, supports what I've thought for a while, which is that we are in the middle of the Great Downsizing, as cost-conscious older generations with larger properties look at the actual heating costs and running costs of a house and go, there are 2 of us living in this enormous place. There's no point. Let's downsize. Which is why a lot of first-time buyers have encountered a lot of competition from cash buying downsizers. Some people are saying that's the baby boomers giving one last slap in the face to young home buyers before they shuffle off this mortal coil, which is hard to argue with, actually. I mean, obviously no one's doing that on purpose, but at least they're freeing up the bigger houses. So much bigger price drops in asking prices of larger houses, or top of the ladder, as Rightmove calls it, coming to the market. Which goes against the story that some people think, well, rich people won't be affected, will they? I think actually rich people are going to be affected the most. let's define rich people as the ones who own the most expensive houses, right? Now, why is Rightmove saying house prices are falling when Land Registry says they're going up? Because of the massive time difference between asking prices at the beginning of the process and completion prices at the end of the process. Okay, so the Land Registry last week were reporting that prices went up 0.7 in a month, but that was for June, and that was for deals agreed 6 months roughly before that, so December, January. Okay, so what was reported last week isn't what's happening last week, whereas what Rightmove is reporting is what's happening with brand newly listed properties in the last month. So it's up-to-date information on asking prices, but please do not think for 1 minute this is the whole of the market. Now, if it was including the whole of the market, I think the prices would be significantly lower. So they've got the overall average asking price having dropped from 371 in July, this is for newly listed properties, to 364 in August. That's the overall average, but there is no such thing as the average, as that breakdown below quite helpfully shows, actually. Now, on best agents data, now this is just England, and we're still tidying this up, and actually there's going to be an updated version of this. These prices are going to change again, hopefully tomorrow. Can I get that on screen? Can you see that? So the top line there is sold homes that are still publicly showing what their asking price was when they went under offer. It's not the actual sold price, it's the asking price when they went under offer. And the median is very different from the average. So the median 285 of home sales agreed, which is sold subject to contract, and the average is 359 of the sale agreed properties, right? Stuff that's sitting there unsold, median 340,000, average 482,000. Now, it's interesting that the average price of the whole market of properties that are showing for sale but not selling is so high. Why is that the case? Because of the enormously large number of properties that just sit there with sellers having unrealistic prices, thinking, well, I'm just going to wait for the market. The market's going to come and find me, right? So that tells you just how many people are doing that. That average price of unsold stuff is even higher than Rightmove's average price. All right, guys, do we have any time for a quick couple of questions? If you've got questions on this, does anyone have a question on this? Any questions? Bornak. Okay, yeah, that's a good question. So Bornak asks, but don't asking prices usually dip a bit on August when people go on holiday? That is, the answer is, I don't know if that's true or not, but every year Rightmove says that does happen. But what they say is that that's typically a 0.9% dip, whereas they've got a 1.9% dip. So it's more than twice as big, the usual summer August dip in prices. Good question. Anyone else with questions? Otherwise, I'm going to wrap this up and look forward to talking to you. Here we are. Hello, Craig Wood. Hello, CG. Oh, question. Here we are. Had an offer accepted on a probate property. Told probate already applied for. Turns out they haven't applied for it. Do I walk away or renegotiate, given that I might be waiting for 6 months? Good question. I think you say that your offer is subject to probate and what happens in the next 6 months. I think that neither you nor the seller knows what's going to happen until probate is done. John Springett says, the great house price denial is finally starting to end. Yeah, I do think that's beginning to happen as well. But guys, listen, it's 10 minutes. I'm going to wrap it up there. Wish you all the best. See you on the next one, which will be sooner rather than later. Thanks for watching. And remember, if you need a home, buy now, just don't overpay. And if you're selling, don't sign a long sole agency lock-in. Don't become one of those listed and locked sellers. That's a nightmare if you need to sell. And remember that you haven't got a decision to make until you've got offers. So the lower the asking price, the more inquiries you get. Good luck, guys. See you soon. Bye-bye.